कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे वर्मौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कङ्कणम् सर्वांगे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपास्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Reading from Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran, we are into the 9th canto. We have learnt the first 8 chapters, the story of King Sudyumna, who is the son of Vavasvat Manu. Vavasvat Manu is the son of sun god Vivaswan. So, and sun god, he is the progenitor of the Surya Vansh. The second chapter was about the other 5 sons of Manuji, and they are Prisadra, etc. Third chapter about how Sukanya and Rishi Chevan, they got married in a very bizarre story. She poked his eyes, he was meditating, she thought there is some shining object, and then she had to be married to him. Then the fourth chapter, we learned about the very ardent devotee called Ambarish, who would use all his senses in the service of the Lord. And about another personality called Nabhag. Ambarish ji was tested by Durvasha Rishi, and that very prominent Leela we learnt. Durvasha Rishi had to run for his life because he had angered the Lord by being so difficult with the devotee Ambarish. Sixth chapter was about the description of the lineage of King Ikshvaku, who is one of the descendants in the Sun dynasty, the Surya Vansh. And then there was the story of King Mandhata, who had 50 daughters, and how Sobri Rishi, he was meditating under the water in Yamuna river, and then he sighted the mating of the fish, and he also developed the desire of marriage, and he approached King Mandhata, and how he got married to all the 50 daughters. That fascinating story we read. He was such a powerful yogi, he could multiply himself into 50 persons. And next, we learned about another personality in the lineage called Trishanku, who was the devotee, who was the disciple of Vishwamitra king. He was the disciple of Rishi Vishwamitra, who had this war with Vasishtha ji, who was a Brahmin saint, and how Vishwamitra tried to send Trishanku in his physical body to the heaven, which was a violation of the norms. So he was prevented, challenged, and in the process, Vishwamitraji created a heaven in the center, in the middle, and that is where Trishanku lived. So they say the person is suspended like Trishanku. The name, the phrase comes from there. And in that lineage, we also learnt about King Harishchandra. And then we come to the story about descension of Ganga. How the river Ganges, whom we know by the personality Mother Ganga, she descended on earth. Now, Ganga is a divine entity, and to get Ganga onto the earth is a very difficult task to accomplish, but that has become necessary because the sons of Sagar, 60,000 sons, have been burnt and turned into ashes by the Rishi. Now, the grandson has approached and he has managed to convince the Rishi, and Rishi says, okay, this is possible, but Ganga has to descend. So they started meditating. First, King Anshuman, and then his son, King Dilip. But still, the accomplishment was not achieved. And finally, King Dilip's son Bhagirath sat on the meditation, and his meditation brought Ganga Mata to his place, and then Mother Ganga agreed to descend, but she also talked about her uncontrollable uncontrollable speed, etc. And then she was assured that the Lord will mitigate that. And that's the story how Ganga descended, and she was controlled by Lord Shiva, who used his mat to reduce the speed of Ganga, and then finally she came on the earth. And when the Ganga water reached these mounds of ashes near the ocean, then the personalities were revived. So that story we will read in detail today. But before we do that, let us participate in the bhajan. And today's bhajan is Shri Vrindavan Chand Hamaro. The glory of Vrindavan, its moon, Shyam Sundar alone is mine. He who is described as eternal existence, complete divine knowledge and infinite bliss, Satchit Anand in personal form in the Vedas has come to the world as the son of Nanda. The Vedas have described the soul of that supreme Lord to be Sri Radha, Atma tu Radhika Tasya. The divine couple unceasingly showers the bliss of the rasa on deserving souls. These two oceans of bliss can be seen engaged in ever fresh, amorous pastimes in Vrindavan, Nidhi 1 and Gahavar 1. Sri Kripaluji Maharaj says, even great personalities like Lord Shankar can be seen wandering in Braj and snared by their love. So, very transcendental, blissful bhajan talking about the highest entity called Radha Krishna. So, first of all, when we take up a spiritual study, we should understand that we cannot understand the spiritual leelas, spiritual activities, spiritual entities, because our mind is material, our senses are material, our intellect is material. So, with material senses and intellect, we cannot perceive the spiritual realm. This fact must be understood by us all the time. Otherwise, we'll keep questioning how this is possible, how this is possible, how this is possible. Spiritual and material are two completely, you know, uh, different, dissimilar entities. Although the material is a part of a spiritual, because ultimately God is one single entity. That's the principle of Advait. But within that Advait, there is the material element, which is Maya, and there is the spiritual element. So the material that we see is the part of material energy called Maya, and the only spiritual entity which we are familiar with is our soul, which is a part of God. This we should understand all the time, and we should know that our purpose is to gain this knowledge that we are the soul, not the body, and we will get our goals fulfilled only if we connect to God. Because we are not the body, we are the soul. So soul, if the soul forgets the source only, how is it possible for us to remain blissful and peaceful? So very simple logic. We belong to God because we are the soul, not the body. The body is temporary, but the soul is permanent. So we should always endeavor to achieve the divine. So that divine power is known as Krishna, but for the Leelas, Krishna takes another form called Radha, and it is best to know God as Radha Krishna, a combined form. And Radha has many dissensions, many forms. Radha is the Hladni Shakti, the highest form of God's energy. But Radha is also Durga, Radha is also Lakshmi, Radha is also Saraswati, and all these personalities. This is like one movie actor, but that movie actor has different roles. Similarly, Krishna is the avatari, he is the ultimate personality. Matta partaram nanyat kinchi dasti dhananjaya. He says, there is no one beyond me, but he takes different forms. When a Brahmand is created, he takes the form of Brahma, he takes the form of Shiv, he takes the form of Vishnu. So how many Vishnus and how many Brahmas and how many Sivas in different Brahmand? Infinite. Krishna himself also descends sometimes. So this is a very complex and beyond our intellect. But all of us have the belief that we are not atheists. We believe in God, and it is very evident because so many rules and so many facts cannot be explained without understanding them from the scriptures. So, with that background, let us sing this bhajan and then we will read the texts and then we will have some interactive session. Shri Vrindavan Chand Hamaro 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 सद्घन चिद घन आनंद घन जोई सद्घन चिद घन आनंद घन जोई बन्यो सोई नंद नंद हमारो बन्यो सोई नंद नंद हमारो श्री वृंदावन चंद हमारो परमात्मा की परम आत्मा परमात्मा की परम आत्मा राधा कह श्रुति छंद हमारो राधा कह श्रुति छंद हमारो श्री वृंदावन चंद हमारो जुगल एक रस रस बरसावत जुगल एक रस रस बरसावत सरस रस आनंद हमारो श्री वृंदावन चंद हमारो. Anyone wants to sing? Okay. वृंदावन निधिवन गहवर वन विहरत आनंद कंद हमारो विरत कृपालु शंभु से जिन के पारे प्रेम के फंद हमारो श्री वृंदावन चंद हमारो चंद हमारो चंद हमारो. बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय. जय जय श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे. Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundananji. My humble pranam to each one of you. We read from the chapter 9, which is about Emperor Bhagirath. But let us just reflect on what is the excitement about reading from Bhagwat Mahapuran. First of all, this most glorious literature, many of us are not even familiar that there is something called Bhagwat Mahapuran. Many people belonging to Sanatan Dharma, Hindu religion, when you talk about Bhagavad Mahapuran, they tell you, are you talking about Bhagavad Gita? And then they realize, no, they don't know about Bhagavad Mahapuran. So that is how in Kali Yuga, uh, you know, the material energy is so predominant. Actually, material energy is predominant in every Yug. Maya is so strong, but Kali Yuga, it becomes even more prominent. That's why there is so little enthusiasm about the study of Bhagavad Mahapuran and learning about all those amazing stories about different personalities, and learning about the cosmos as depicted in Bhagavad Mahapuran, that the universe is infinite. So Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Namam duskritno mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya aprita jnanam ashuram bhava mashrita. This is in chapter 7. Four types of people surrender to me. Who are the four types of people? First category, arth, distressed. Those people who are in extreme distress. They try not vanish. There is severe discontentment, there is severe frustration, there is severe anger, there is severe lack of fulfillment. So they come to the Lord. Oh Lord, if you are there, I come to you. Please take me in your shelter. This is category number 1. Category number 2, artharthi. Those who are severely in need of wealth. Again, they tried every stunt. They have seen the neighbors prospering and the colleagues prospering and the family members, the relatives prospering, but the money has not been coming in their own homes. Such people also, at one point of time when nothing has worked, they go to the Lord, oh Lord, when will I get the wealth, the money? So this is the second category of people who surrender to God. The third category which Sri Krishna is talking about is Jigyasur, the inquisitive. The person who came to know about God, that our purpose of life is to attain God. Because everything is temporary. This body is temporary. No matter how beautiful house I have made, but I have to go into a little tomb or in a little place and mix with the earth when my body is burnt after death. So all the big houses and the big cars and the bank balance is going to remain. It is going to be used by others. So once they understand that reality and they see the progress of those who have sincerely attempted the spiritual path, they also follow them. So they are the inquisitive. And the fourth category is Jnani, who have attained the knowledge that yes, I am convinced that the spiritual path is the ultimate. So they also surrender to God. This is what Sri Krishna is so candidly saying in chapter 7. And he also talks about the four types of people who don't come to Krishna. Namam duskrit no mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya aprita jnanam ashuram bhavam ashritaha. Four types of people don't come to me. The one who is mudha. So mudha is the gross, foolish, if you translate literally, people whom Krishna says, they don't know nothing. They don't have any idea that there is a soul and there is a life after death. All they know is to prosper in this material world, take birth, grow, go to the best school and acquire education and get a job or do a industry, set up an industry or become wealthy, prosperous, get married, have children, have grandchildren, and then die. They never came to know anything beyond the material mundane existence. That Sri Krishna calls as a mudha. The second category Sri Krishna calls Naradham are those people who did come to know. Some Mahatma they got exposed to some Bhagavad Gita classes or Bhagavatam classes or Ramayan classes, or in their own homes there were some people who were following devotion. They came to know all these, but they did not make any attempt to grow spiritually. Sri Krishna calls them Naradham. The third category, Sri Krishna says Mayaya Aprita Jnana. This category of people, they came to know, they learnt a bit from Bhagavad Gita or from whatever, but instead of going deeper and accomplishing the goal, they started giving, just unnecessary lectures in the office pantry or in the canteen, or, they think that they have learned. They never care to have a guru and learn the knowledge in a bona fide way. They just went haywire. Such people are not many, but there are some. And then the fourth category is openly atheistic. These people are so much opposed to God that if you talk about God, they will say, just shut up. I came to your house to have a cup of tea and you're talking about God. So do you want me to stay or go back? Or if you are having a kirtan in your home, you get a knock at your door. Why are you making so much of noise? If you don't stop this, it's going on for some time, I'll call police. So these are the 8 types of people Sri Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita. Now it is your choice, it is our choice to take interest in Bhagavatam classes or Bhagavad Gita, go deeper into it. Do what Sri Krishna says, that the greatest help that you can do to Sri Krishna is to propagate this message to others. Help grow this knowledge. And Krishna doesn't stop us from doing whatever we are doing. He said, no, you want to watch Hira Mandi on Netflix? Please do. You want to watch Lapata Ladies, the most talked about movie, which I liked so much, on Netflix? Please do. But connect it to Krishna. See Krishna in it. See the spiritual and the divine power in the director and the music director and the script writer. All this is divine power, how they combined and made this movie, and all those amazing sets and the amazing, you know, Shri Krishna doesn't stop you from watching IPL and playing cricket. Otherwise, why he would have said in Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. He gives equal importance to recreation, play, and work together. So with that background, let us now go into this story, because time to time we need to understand the reason why we are reading all these, and is it that our enthusiasm is waning, waxing? We need to do a check. So let me read a few slides quickly and then we will have some discussions. Chapter 9, Emperor Bhagirath. Sukdev Maharaj then continues, O Parikshit, Anshuman, to redeem his uncle's, practiced severe austerities and penances to get Gangaji to earth, but was unsuccessful. His son Dilip, after his father's death, continued to worship Gangaji and he too remained unsuccessful. Dilip's son Bhagirath, after Dilip's death, then continued with even more severe austerities and penances, worshipping Gangama. Bhagwati Ganga was very pleased with Bhagirath and, manifesting in a personal form, said to Bhagirath, I have come to confer a boon to you. When Bhagirath humbly asked her to come to Mrityulok, earth, she then tells him, when I descend on earth from heaven, the impact of my force would be unbearable to earth, due to which I will go up to Rasatal. To avoid this, somebody is then required to sustain my force. Moreover, cleansing everybody's sin, how would I continue to maintain my purity? Please give this a thought, O son. Bhagirath replies, Mata, persons who are detached and have renounced their material resources relations, such pious souls and saints, having attained the divine knowledge and truth, and with Sri Hari always seated in their hearts, with their touch you will always be pure and holy. So very beautiful slide showing the depicting the conversation between King Bhagirath and Mother Ganga. And what a brilliant reply by Bhagirath. Why are you worried that you will be losing your purity, Mother Ganga? Because you will be touched by pure souls who, despite all the constraints and problems, they have, you know, surrendered themselves to the will of God. And then those people have God in their hearts, so they will always be in touch with you. So, where is the question of impurity? So, let us see what happens next. In the way a thread is contained in a cloth, all the souls reside in the super soul Rudradev, Mahadev, and he will contain your current speed. Then King Bhagirath worshipped Mahadev with severe austerities, who then was very pleased with Bhagirath's prayers and readily agreed to his wish. Mahadev very carefully and cautiously bore the holy Ganges as she is sanctified and purified from the touch of Supreme Lord's feet. On his own head, happily, King Bhagirath, seated on his superfast chariot with the speed of wind, then requested Gangaji to follow and flow, purifying the whole pathway from heaven till where his grand uncles lay in a heap of ash. Emperor Sagar's 60,000 sons then were redeemed by submerging in the Ganges, which flows till Ganga Sagar. If these sons, despite insulting the pious Kapil Muni, were unpardonable, were still entitled to heaven by the mere touch of the holy Gangajal to their remains, ashes, so then, O Parikshit, what is there left to say for the purity of the noble souls who have complete faith and worship Ganga daily? The Lord's lotus feet, meditating on which pious sages, rishis, munis, souls have cut the bondage of material existence and become God realized. So also the association with the glorious Gangama, also emanating from the Lord's feet, cuts the bonds of material life and cycle of transmigration should be no wonder. So the 60,000 sons of Sagar, they will be redeemed when Gangaji appears. And so to make the path, King Bhagirath rides a chariot and Gangaji follows her. Her speed has already been contained by the grace of Lord Mahadev, who lets her pass through the mat of his head. Let's see the next slide. And in the meantime, those who wish to read can raise their hands. Bhagirath had a son, Shrut, whose son was Nab, whose son was Sindhudweep, whose son was Ayutayu, whose son was Ritu, Purn, who had a friend named Nal. Ritu Puran taught Nal the dice games and he learned Ashwavidya, horse training from Nal. Ritu Puran had a son, Sarvakam, whose son was Sudas, whose son was Saudas, who married Madhyanti. Saudas is also known as Mitrashah and Kalmashpad too. Due to a curse from sage Vasisht, he was transformed into a Rakshas and was childless. King Parikshit asked, O Shukdev Maharaj, do tell what led sage Vasisht to curse him, if it is not confidential. Sukhdevji replies, once on a hunt, King Saudas killed a Rakshas and spared his brother. The Rakshas brother, intent on revenge for his brother's death, deceivingly worked as a cook in the royal kitchen. One day, when the sage was invited for a lunch by the king, this cook mixed human flesh in the food and served it to the Guru. Guru Vashisht instantly perceived that the food was impure and foul. He cursed the king to become a Rakshas for this act. Later coming to know that this was a deliberate act by the Rakshas cook and not the king, the Guru contained the curse on the king to 12 years. So very fascinating story about Saudas and the curse to the Rakshas because the food had been mixed with the human flesh. Right. Let's read the next one. So over to
I think,
you,
yeah,
Vijay.
I think, Yatin Bhaiya, do you want to read the next line?
Right.
I see you raise your hand.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. The king too decided to pronounce a counter curse on the sage, but was stopped midway by his wife Madhyanti. But the king, carrying the palmful of water in his hand, was compelled to pour the same on his own feet, so as to not harm life prevalent in all other directions, if the cursed water was thrown. Hence, he is called as Mitrasar. And as the water fell on his feet, making it black, he is also called Kalmashpad. Now, as the Rakshas for 12 years, he used to roam and stay in the forest. Once he came across a happy Brahmin couple and, being hungry, caught the man. The Brahmin's wife pleaded to the Rakshas, O Rajan, you are the husband of Queen Madhyanti and come from the great Ishwaku lineage. It does not suit you to do this adharma act. I desire a child from my husband, and my husband too has many unfulfilled desires, wishes. So please spare his life and return him back to me. The four Purusharths, Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha, can be achieved only with this human body. So, O warrior, by murdering this body, you will be murdering the four Purusharths too. Moreover, moreover, this Brahman is a very sorry, I have to lower my hand. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Moreover, this Brahmin is very knowledgeable, full of austerities, calm, and other virtues. He wants to attain the supreme Brahm, which is present in every atom molecule of creation. O king, you are very powerful and also a knower of dharma. The way killing your own child is considered sin. So to an esteemed king like killing my pious husband will be a sin.
Right. Thank you so much. So the story about the curse and the Rakshas becoming very hungry and catching this Brahmin couple and trying to eat her husband and the pleadings by the Brahmin's wife. Let's see the next slide.
Sheila Didi, do you want to read this?
You are most respected by the sages and saints, then how can you even consider killing a Brahmin? This would amount to killing an unborn calf. So if you still want to go ahead with your intention, then please hear. Eat me first. I would otherwise also be lifeless without him and do not wish to stay alive without my husband. Saying this, the Brahmin wife wept inconsolably. But all her pleas and prayers fell on deaf ears as King Saudas, under the influence of the curse, ignored her and went ahead and ate the Brahman just like a tiger eating its prey. The distraught Brahmani then cursed King Saudas, O sinner, just as you have thwarted my desire to have my husband, you too will die, the moment you come close to a woman. Saying this, the Brahmani entered her husband's funeral pyre and attained the same abode of her Brahmin husband as per her wish, to, to be close to her husband only. After the Guru's curse got over after 12 years, King Saudas returned. He remained childless as Queen Madhyanti always remembered the Brahmini's curse and forbade the king. On the request of the king, Guru Vasishtha, as a solution, impregnated Queen Madhyanti when the child was in the womb for 7 years and remained unborn. Guru Vasishtha hid the queen's womb with a stone, and the son born due to Ashma stone was named as Ashma.
Right. So story about the King Saudas and the curse and how he did not hear the pleadings and ate up the Brahmin husband, and how he in turn was cursed, and this birth of the child called Ashmak. Yes, let us read the next one.
Let me read this last one because we are almost close. So his son was Mulak. When says Parshuram attacked or destroyed the Kshatriyas, the females hid Mulak. He was the root of regenerated Kshatriya clan, and so is also known as Narikavach. Mulak's son is Raja Dasrath, whose son was Ayadvid, whose son was Vishwasa, whose son was the undefeatable emperor Khatwang. He had also slayed many Daityas on behalf of Devatas. When the Devatas told him that he had only some minutes left to leave, he returned to his kingdom and concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. The emperor contemplated that throughout his life he worshipped the noble Brahmanas only and had never harbored any other wish or desire. He had disregarded the abodes of heaven too when offered, knowing them to be temporary. He had only worshipped the Lord, knowing him to be the supreme of all. Always keeping the Lord in his mind all his life, Emperor Hatwang hence could remember the Lord in his last penultimate moment, dropping his physical body and its identity, achieve the supreme abode. The Lord Vasudeva is Param Brahma, subtler than the subtle and the ultimate truth.
Thank you. So many personalities we are reading in this chapter. So the one which we just read is about Emperor Khatwang. So he had helped the Devatas, and then he wanted to know when Devatas offered some reward. He said, "Can you let me know how much time I have to live?" And it was found out that he has only 2 ghadi to live, means about half an hour. So within half an hour, he used his mind and intellect in such a way that he attained God realization. So this becomes an example that God realization can be achieved in a very short period of time also. It all depends on the intensity of our sadhana and application. So let's see the next slide. I think Ananya and Aradhya had raised their hands. So okay, so this is the Hindi one. Not sure whether they can read the Hindi, but let me then just quickly go through because time also only 15 minutes is left. So I should have put the English version, but in the hurry. So this is Chatushloki Bhagwat. As we learnt earlier, that this Bhagwat Mahapuran has 18,000 shlokas written by Veda Vyas. But the origin of Veda Vyas Bhagwat Mahapuran is the set of 4 shlokas which were spoken by Lord Narayan to Lord Brahma. Because Lord Brahma is going to do the creation, so he doesn't know the purpose and he wants to get enlightened. So Lord Narayan tells him this Chatushloki Bhagwat, which is very beautiful and which is the source and the origin of the entire knowledge. So what are the Chatushloki Bhagwat? Ahameva samevagre nanyad yat sad sat param paschadaham yadetacha yo vashishyeta sosmyaham ritertham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamah yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshva vachasevnu प्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्महम् एतावदेव जिज्ञासं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So very profound 4 texts. We can imagine the entire Bhagavad Mahapuran is contained in these 4 shlokas, which are spoken by Lord Narayan to Brahmaji. The meaning of the first shlok is that before creation, I alone was there. God is telling Brahmaji. Brahmaji is form of God also, but Narayanji is the God who is talking to Brahmaji. That means before creation, only God is there. And beyond me, whatever gross and whatever subtle is there, the reason that you see them is your ignorance. And wherever you don't see the creation, there also I am there. And whatever is appearing as creation in your thinking, that also is me. And when nothing remains, I will still be there. So that is the first shlok. The second one is that this is about the Maya. It is defined as what appears as true but is actually non-existent, and what appears as non-existent but actually is there, that is the nature of Maya. So the example is given like the shadow in the river of a tree. So the shadow is not real, but it appears real. And also the other example, like this Rahu Ketu, they are actually there, but they are not visible. So what is visible but is not existing, and what is not visible but is existing, that is the nature of Maya. So this world, it appears so glittering and so, you know, uh, infinite, and influences us so much, but everything is actually temporary. It is there today, but it will not be existing tomorrow. So we can relate to this in the same manner. The third shlok talks about how God is there in everyone and is also not there in everyone. Because we have less time, I'll not go into detail. And the last one is about the Anvay and Vyatirek. There are two methods, like one is because there is a smoke, there will be fire. And the other way of looking at it, if there is fire, there will be a smoke. Something like this, we can understand with some self study. So these are the four seed shlokas of Bhagwat Mahapuran, which time to time we try to refresh and learn. So with that, over to Shri Vijay for the interactive session. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the nice quotation and wisdom from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And you rightly said that we have to keep the knowledge every time that these things are beyond our, the spiritual realm is beyond our material mind. Because sometimes, I have seen we are stuck with some thoughts when we don't understand, and without, focusing on devotion, we keep on, wasting our time in thinking why this kind of Leela has happened, why this is happening, and why God did in this way. So, we always have to keep that in mind, not that when we hear. So that's a good lesson for me, and I'll, continue doing this. So thank you so much for that. With that, anybody has any questions? I see Yatin Bhaiya is also joined today. Anybody has any questions? Or if they want to share anything?
Reflections, feedback, comments,
Yeah.
just your own experience and how to make everything, more exciting. And
I think whatever you're doing, Bhaiya, it can't be any more exciting than that, honestly. You're doing a great job, week in and week out, and preparation and, getting everything ready and coming online on Zoom and presenting. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. So, बहुत 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 आभार, बहुत धन्यवाद. राधे राधे.
Radhe Radhe, thank you so much. So this is the power of Maya that you know we have to engage ourselves in devotional practices, because not all of us may have inherited it from previous life. Like somebody whose God realization is 90% complete from previous life, he or she is in a much better position to acquire the balance 10%. But somebody who is born with only 5%, the path is so much tougher. So without worrying about it, we have to keep the fire kindled and burning. So that's the reason we have Ramayan session, we have Bhagavad Gita session, we have Bhagavatam session, and these days I am converting the Bhagavad Gita shlokas into poetry, and that has added a lot of excitement. And I'm trying to make reels, not reels, shorts in and put it on YouTube. Also, I have been learning music, and I thought music is a great way to enhance our devotion, because you will learn ragas, you will learn bandish, and most of the bandish is based on Lord Krishna, his pastimes. So it will give you the excitement of learning the raga, and also when you practice, automatically you will be in the devotional mood. Otherwise, Maya is so strong that in one moment it can beat us down.
Yeah.
So I don't see anyone raising hands. So Vijay Bhaiya,
Mm.
your reflections, if any?
Yeah, I mean, I also want to, ask everyone if they have any problems, and probably there that we can give some, Bhaiya Rajasriya can provide some wisdoms to solve that issue. That also we can discuss. It's not that only related to your spiritual, because there are many things that we can solve just with some slokas from Bhagwat, and then when we realize that deeply, those issues are resolved. So, anybody has any things like that?
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
the purpose of the group is to learn from one another and grow.
yeah,
Like they say, when one and one combines, it becomes 11. So the synergy that happens because of the group activities, because like I do in my office, I cannot read everything. So I'm the project manager for the project. So I pick up a lot of knowledge which others have and use that to progress on my job. So same thing we can apply here. Collectively, when we learn, our learning is so much better, because tattva gyan, we must have a very deep knowledge of the tattva gyan, the basic fundamental knowledge. Then everything else becomes necessary. Otherwise, we will be doubting, and we will be very much vulnerable to the
right,
onslaught of Maya. So,
right.
so,
Any
and of course,
so
yes.
Smita Didi, Madhu, Chuvanji also. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to share? The experience that you got after joining the session, or do you want to share with anyone else?
राधे राधे भैया।
Radhe Radhe.
भैया ने अपने प्रति शनिवार के इस कार्यक्रम से हम सभी के मन में राग और अनुराग जो कृष्ण भगवान के प्रति पैदा किया है, वो अगर उसका प्रारंभिक टाइम से अभी तक का जो हमें उनके प्रति प्रेम का जो दिन प्रतिदिन वृद्धि जो हुई है, उसके लिए भैया और ये पूरा ग्रुप बहुत ही कृपा का, हमारे प्रति इस बड़ी कृपा के लिए हम हमेशा अनुग्रहित रहेंगे उन सभी के। और यहाँ से जुड़ने के बाद जीवन में अभूतपूर्व परिवर्तन जो हो सकता था वो होने लगा है भैया। भगवान जी के प्रति हमारे अनुराग में एक प्रगाढ़ता आने लगी है, और दिन प्रतिदिन बिना किसी अनावश्यक प्रेशर के हमारा ध्यान इनके प्रति रहता है। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा परिवर्तन है और इसके लिए मैं आप सभी की बहुत ही आभारी हूँ। और भैया बीच बीच में जो आप भजन करते हैं और जो भी एक भागवत की कथा को ही पीछे से या कहीं गीता के श्लोकों से जोड़कर जो समय समय पर आप दृष्टांत देते हैं, वो सभी मिलकर इतना इतना ही सुंदर समा बनाते हैं कि जो सुनने में भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है और जो हमारे मन में पूरी तरह उतर जाता है। ऐसे तो भगवान जी के लिए जो अभी आपने चतुश्लोकी भागवत जो कहा, वो अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा पूरा का पूरा ज्ञान समेटे हुए है। अगर आप भगवान को देखना चाहें तो इस प्रकृति के हर एक चीज में, फल में, फूल में, पेड़ में, चिड़िया में, आकाश में, जो कुछ भी आपने अर्न नहीं किया, नहीं कमाया, जिसके लिए कोई जुगाड़ नहीं भिड़ाया, जो भी सभी कुछ दिखता है यहाँ इधर उधर ऊपर नीचे पूरब पश्चिम उत्तर दक्षिण, वो सब कुछ भगवान ही है। तो इतनी खूबसूरत वाणी और इतना खूबसूरत कथा विस्तार के लिए भैया को कोटि कोटि प्रणाम और धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
So
राधे।
much, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, Hima Didi, you can unmute yourself. Hima Didi, you want to?
Yes. Radhe Radhe Rajeshri, Radhe Radhe everyone. But yeah, it's like you said, it's through the correct Tattva Gyan, the knowledge, that one can see the hidden messages in the Bhagavatam, like surrender, and through the various leelas that we're doing in Canto 10 at the moment with the other class, but it is the Tattva Gyan. Once the Tattva Gyan seed is there, the mind gets curious, wanting for more and more and more. And repetition of that Tattva Gyan, again, through Swami Mukundanandji's YouTube videos, that again adds another layer. And also through the kirtans, the devotional singing and the chanting. But this Maya, this illusion, energy of God, it's always behind us. So from my experience, always be cautious and aware the Sakshi Bhau, that God is there, He's looking over you, as well as holding your hand and leading you and keeping you on the right path. This illusion, Maya, is literally just steps behind you. So, from the Bhagavatam, the classes that I've been doing so far have really helped me to, with the implementation in daily life, letting go. If somebody's insulting you, fine, just let it go. If something's not going your way in life, again, there's a reason why, and just accept it as God's will, because He knows what's best for us. He knows when, where, and how to dispense His grace. Radhe Radhe, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think Madhuji wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Maji, my Radhe Radhe, pranam to everyone. I find same thing that I look forward to the class on Saturday mornings, and I would echo the sentiments that a lot has been said, and Rajeshji and the circuit itself to create this kind of an environment. It's very blissful for Saturday mornings for us. And journey, everybody is different, different achievements in the journey. But for me, it sort of clarifies as you progress in the journey, and I really appreciate attending this class. And Rajeshji's knowledge is, how can I explain? It's you've got a lot of knowledge that you share, that we are very blessed to be attending this class, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your wonderful words. And I really am speechless at the appreciation you all are showering, and it makes me more responsible to do my part. So with that, let us come to the end of the session. बोलिए श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की जय, श्रीमद
की
युगल
जय।
सरकार की जय।
की जय।
जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Over to Vijay bhaiya.
Radhe Radhe. Thanks so much for the session, and let's try to let others also know, like Sri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, and Rajesh Bhai also mentioned that let's share this knowledge with most of our close friends and relatives, and try to bring them also, so that they slowly they will also change themselves, and they'll get the inner peace by listening to the wisdoms and reforming themselves.
Thank you so much. So, Radhe Radhe. So later today, I mean our time, there will be Ramcharitmanas session also. Right now it's 4:30, so 8 o'clock there will be Ramcharit Ramayan class. That is also in English. A lot of dohas and chapais and music. And Wednesday and Thursday there are Bhagavad Gita classes. So if you keep in lookout for the JKYOG notification, you will. So there are 2 Bhagavad Gita classes, Wednesday, Thursday, and there is Ramayan class in the evening also. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, everyone.